Resident Evil Revelations is a return to classic survival horror gameplay. Limited ammunition, unsettling environments, exploration and scavenging bring back old memories of great Resident Evil games from the past. This game simply feels like Resident Evil, which is a breath of fresh air for a series that seems to have lost its identity. This is probably the best Resident Evil title to be turned out in years, and if you can get past a few annoyances and quirks, this game is actually quite an enjoyable experience. Throughout the 10 or so hour campaign, you play as familiar RE veterans Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield, during their mission to uncover the resurgence of a bioterror organization named Veltro. The game is centered on a cruise ship named the Queen Zenobia, and follows the horrific events of a bioterror attack on the city of Terra Grigia, a huge floating city in the Mediterranean.
And Terra Grigia is no more.
The story of Revelations is broken down into episodes that makes it a bit less convoluted than most recent Resident Evil outings, yet it still manages to deliver a complex story that is befitting the conspiracy style that Resident Evil is known for. And don't worry, there are enough plot twists and character transitions to get your attention and keep it. But the problem with porting a game from a handheld format is never the story, it's the graphics. This is where Resident Evil Revelations stumbles. I could say that the graphics are a dramatic improvement over the original handheld version, which would be true, but I won't. Because it's not enough to bring the visuals of this game in line with the level of graphical quality that we have come to expect from console games. Let me explain. The character models in this game look excellent. They are detailed and are far superior to the handheld version of the game. However, most of the backdrop of the game has remained unchanged, or at most, marginally upgraded. This results in an HD character model surrounded by low-res textures, and it just looks off. Additionally, you can tell some low-res animations survive the console transition as well, such as the death melt of your T-Abyss enemies. These monstrous foes go from high-res horror freak show to a low-res pile of unflinching gelatinous goo in about 3 seconds flat. But where the visuals of RE Revelations fall short, the rest of the game picks up the slack admirably. The control scheme isn't perfect, but it works well enough, and alternate functions and weapons are easily accessible. The ship sways back and forth slightly as you traverse its dark corridors, which adds an additional layer of control complexity that was both necessary and expected. The sounds of Revelations complete the survival horror package. The environment is well crafted, and enemies pop out of every nook and cranny with sounds that sometimes catch you off guard. The Queen Zenobia creaks and cracks on the sea, and, along with the swaying environment, never let you forget you're in the middle of the ocean. Voice acting in Revelations can be cheesy at points, but that's kind of part of the charm of a Resident Evil title. Even though voices almost never line up with mouth movement, the voice actors give quality performances despite the campy horror script.
That's fine, but you're buying me dinner next time, and I'm ordering lobster.
At the end of the day, Resident Evil Revelations is a game that delivers a memorable survival horror experience, one that's more deserving of its lineage than most recent installations in the series. Even though the graphical update is evident, the mixture of high and low resolution graphics create odd visual contrasts. However, the sound and gameplay pick up the visual slack and help to breathe life into the otherwise low-res world. Additionally, we get to play as the most iconic characters in the series, in an environment brand new to the Resident Evil world. Overall, I'm glad they made this port. Not everyone owns a 3DS, and this RE experience needs to be available to every Resident Evil fan. There's only one question that remains. Is Resident Evil Revelations better for the console than it is for 3DS? Nah, not really. It adds a few extra features and gives it a coat of HD paint, but at its core, it's still the same game. But is it worth playing on console? Absolutely. We give it a 3.8 out of 5.